And make them holy. And you never cease to gather people to yourself, so that sacrifice may be offered in your name. Therefore, O Lord, we humbly implore you, by the same Spirit, graciously make holy these gifts we have brought to you for consecration, that they may become the body and blood of your Son, our Lord Jesus Christ, at whose command we
inheritance with your elect, especially with the Blessed Virgin Mary, Mother of God, with the
Pray of me. The mystery of faith. We proclaim your death, O Lord, and profess your resurrection until you come again. Therefore, O Lord, As we celebrate the memorial of the saving passion of your Son, his wondrous resurrection and ascension into heaven, and as he looks forward to his second coming, we offer in thanksgiving
life for unfailing help.
May this sacrifice of our reconciliation, we pray, O Lord, advance the peace and salvation of all the world. Be pleased to confirm in faith and charity your pilgrim church on earth, with your servant Francis, our Pope, and Joseph, our Bishop, the order of bishops, all the clergy, and the entire people you have gained for your own.
Listen graciously to the prayers of this family whom you have summoned before you. In your compassion, O merciful Father, gather to yourself all your children scattered throughout the world.
My dear brothers and sisters, it's a long time that you have invited me to stand in this Hilda's grounds. Meanwhile, I was still waiting Bishop Erasmus Wandera has forcefully told me, you take me back. And we go to that grounds which we left behind. That means home is it? Home is it? And that's why we are here again together with you. It is a moment that each one of us goes back to his or her personal reflection. Since the beginning of this diocese of Soroti, and with the presence and confirmed by his ministry. My dear friends, if we are here today, it is him, it's because we love him. We love him, and that is what brought him here. To preach love at all costs. The moment he stayed here was not a very comfortable moment at all. I thought my mouth was numb. Your Excellency, the Vice President, our own Jessica Alupo, Your Excellency Luigi Bianco, the Apostolic Nuncio, Your Excellencies Archbishop, Your Excellency as Bishop and Bishops, I believe that all of us are here is to worship the mayor of this city, whom I think I will see him for the first time since I left this place. Very Reverend Monsignors, Reverend Fathers, religious men and women, dear brothers and sisters, fellow Christians, my dear brothers from the other churches and all from the other denominations, dear fellow mourners, today we are gathered here to mourn the grandfather of Soroti. And I would like to welcome you as we welcome this moment of sending off our brother our father, our grandfather in faith. On the morning of December 8th, on the feast of Immaculate Conception, Bishop Erasmus reached the time of the end of earthly life. Unannounced, but we are here today to pray for him, that he may receive the reward of all that he has done and followed in the will of God in his life. I know it has not been easy, and you know it very well. May eternal rest be granted to him. And we say together, eternal rest grant unto him, O Lord. May he rest in peace. Amen. Eternal rest grant unto him, O Lord. May he rest in peace. Amen. Eternal rest grant unto him, O Lord. May he rest in peace. Amen. His life lived from the 16th of April 1930 to the 8th of December 2022 was full of events that touched many of our lives, many people from within and without. We remember him for his open jokes. When he is in a good mood, he was a joker, very good. Makes you laugh when you don't want to laugh. But when you find him in his own way, you will also laugh the other way around. But that was his life. His seriousness and honest zeal for evangelization. I think no one will forget to talk about it. All this was for the good of the people who were really suffering. At that moment, people were really suffering. Being the founding father of our diocese here, we have to render him respect for what he was and who he was. Indeed, the gospel of today describes the life of the bishop who's lying there. Every aspect of that beatitude is in him. We know what he passed through. His death brings us to run after the wind will, or a wild wind of his presence. Like Elisha running after Elijah, saying, Father, Father, why are you leaving us? Don't leave me. After over 25 years or so, he had the right to be called Father in the fullest sense. Indeed, his life has influenced many people who encountered with him. If we are gathered here today in such a great number, it is because the life of the bishop had an influence in my life, in your life, in the life of your neighbor. And so, dear mourners, believe me, Bishop Erasmus is still alive in you and will never die. Bishop will never die. He is with you. You remember him. He is on your walls. He is in your hands. He is in your memory. His philosophy, which actually he learned from the school of hard knock, is still with us, especially with the priests who have passed through his hands and through the seminary, and we know him, I think he had that philosophy which he carried. His memories will remain always to be talked about. And from the tree of Hadnoch, the tree of Hadnoch, for those who understand, the Diocese of Soroti has harvested many priests, many religious men and women, and above all, 2 young bishops here present with us. One of them is the ordinary and the bishop of this diocese. Thanks be to God. We are grateful to God for that. This is why St. Paul wrote that life and death of each one of us has its influence on others. If these young men and those other young ladies have become what they are today, that is from the influence of the life of the bishop. Yes, everybody is wondering what is happening in Soroti. I think the Lord knows. If we belong to the Lord, we can also mock death. At this moment we can mock death. After seeing the wonders of the many priests, many religious, many hardworking Christians, we can mock God and say, we can mock death and say, death, where is your victory? If we are with the Lord, who can be against us? Who can be against us? And I think that is the strength that we usually get, that we forget about when death comes and think about the presence of God in our midst. In all this, Bishop Erasmus was not a lover of cheap popularity, and we all know that. He was not a very good lover of cheap popularity. Because this made some people misunderstand him. He was a bishop of straight talk. Sometimes we talk of straight talk here, but Bishop knew how to make it very straight talk. One straight talk and you keep quiet. And he was confident of what he wanted to do for the good of the people. One time I was passing here, I was a seminarian at Adikon, before even I dreamt of coming this way. And I was stopped there by some warriors in Awoja, there after Awoja. And we had to come back. The soldiers told us, hey, you're religious. You have, okay, maybe you have a mysterious body. But for us, we are not going to go there. And we got it. People came and stopped us, and probably we survived by chance. But when we came and we wanted to pass this way and pass Serere and go back to Kumi through the other way. And we met somewhere here. We met Bishop driving a combi. I think it was a combi. And we told him, Bishop, how is behind there? He said, it's okay this side. And where you came from? I said, it's not okay. And he said, I'm going. I said, now, are we agreeing here? That was his courage. And what was he going to do? He was going to rescue a priest in Toroma at that moment. I was a deacon, I was not yet ordained. But these are some of the things that each one of you can remember from this man lying here. A man of courage. for his people. Hence, he started serious programs of integral development in spite of the situation as it was. And hence we have the Socadido is still alive for all those who know it. And then we have the radios, Choga and Delta. And then we have the Neko village, which is still there. All this was done during a crisis and during the courage that this bishop took. There are many things that we may not mention, just to mention a few. Those things are still there. All this demonstrates the love of the bishop for the church, whom he served without reserve, and sometimes risking his own life and facing criticism for the good work done. At the end of all this life, Bishop Erasmus gave in to the Lord. I have fought a good fight to the end. I have run the race to the finish. Let us continue now to implement his vision. Let us continue implementing his vision. When I came here in 2007, together with you, we started implementing his vision. And he was not worried at all. He told me, Bishop, I'm going to rest. I said, but don't you stay for one more week? He said, I have to give you space. I said, here we are. He gave me space in order to implement his vision. About what we have just listened from St. Paul here, I have fought a good fight to the end. I have run the race to the finish. I remember very well when I reached that cathedral on Thursday before my ordination. Before we came here for my consecration. This was the word that the bishop welcomed me. I've fought a good fight. So, like he was telling me, come in and take charge and fight a good fight. I don't know whether I fought the real fight, worth of his wish. Let the work of the progress and development be our goal in every home. That was the wish of this man. In every family. And I will ask Socadido to continue with that, giving guidance to that. Let us not leave the spirit of Bishop Erasmus to die when we are still alive. This will reduce, if we go on like that, this will reduce our poverty level, and it will probably reduce also the domestic violence in families, and eventually bring peace in our families. Peace is not outside the families today. Peace is now centered in our families. And we need to keep that peace. Unfortunately, people are going against it. Let us join together to fight bad manners like defilement, which are in our villages, and many other shameful acts happening in our families, including witchcraft and all those evil things that chase away the Spirit of God from our families. I believe that Bishop preached all this, and he did it confidently. Let us obey the commandments of God and obey God. Because if we don't obey God, then we shall not see the vision that was started at the beginning of this diocese. Bishop Erasmus, a place which was not very far from here. But Erasmus spent his time moving from here to the border, from all borders around. I tried even myself to move from border to border, but I was small. And then, before I even enjoyed my going through all this obedience, get up, take up your mat and go. And then I went. But he was there. He came near me. I went near him actually. I went near him. May his soul rest in eternal peace.
Cameraman, put these umbrellas, pull out.
Saints of God, come to his